Hi guys, so I've just finished doing a review on the Georgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation, which I will link below if you want to have a look at it. But right now I'm going to do a makeup look using the MAC Toledo Bellegreens eyeshadow palette. Now, I did get this palette a little while ago. I got all of the Toledo palettes. You can see the colors here. It's a very sort of browny green palette. So this palette has got the shades Fresh Blade, Gorgeous Gold, Vicuna, Savant, Charcoal Brown, and Sushi Green. I'm going to primarily be using that palette. I'm also going to use my Nars Creamy Concealer as my eyeshadow base, and I'm also going to be using the MAC Toledo Pearlglide Intense Eyeliner in Chlorophyll. So this was definitely the most interesting of the pencils that came out. It's this very, very vibrant green. So you can just see if I put it on my hand here, it's an incredibly bright, vivid, sort of almost lime green color. It's just gorgeous on, and it goes with the Bellegreens palette perfectly. So with this palette, I feel like you want to have a really beautiful base. I've just got foundation on, but I'm going to do my contouring as well. So I'm just using the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour palette in light to medium. So I'm just going to take this middle color here, and I'm using the MAC 163 brush, which is a flat contouring brush. So I just stamp it in and then pat it onto my hand twice to get any excess powder off. So I'm just going to come down and stipple this into the most defined part of my contour on both sides. Now I'm just going to go over that with the MAC 133 angled contour brush to blend it out. Now with this look, I really want to get quite an angled contour, which is why I have used the brush I did. So you can see when I blend it out, you're still getting quite a sharp line. It does take a fair bit of blending. I'm also going to use the MAC Toledo blush in Kindergarten Red. This is an ombre gradient blush right the way through. So I'm just going to take the slightly lighter side up here, and I'm going to use my Stila 21 flat brush, and I'm just going to take a little bit of this red, but mainly this much lighter side, and just pat that in. So because that palette's such a nice warm green, I just want to get a really light sort of pinky red color into my cheeks. And then for my highlight, I am going to use the MAC Mineralize Skinfinish in Triple Fusion. So this is a gorgeous 3-tone highlight color. I'm just going to take the MAC 233, which is a nice little fluffy brush, and I'm going to use the goldest color here just to highlight my cheekbones. I really like this highlight color. It's very, very strong and vivid, which I think is perfect for the look I'm going for today, which is a nice greeny brown glam. So I'm also just going to go up under my eyebrows here and do my Cupid's bow. Now, I tend not to highlight my nose because I find it is quite large to begin with. I don't need to bring any attention to it, but I do just want to chuck a little bit of contour down the sides and underneath, make it look a little bit smaller. Right, now onto the palette. So I am going to take my MAC 217 fluffy blending brush and I'm going to go into Vicuna, which is going to be my transition color. So I'm just going to take that around my crease. Now this is a lovely, like, warm, almost golden brown. It's nice and light. It makes a lovely everyday color, but it's also perfect for your transition color. Now I'm just going to blend that out with the MAC 224, which is my favorite big fluffy blending brush. I'm just going to apply my Nars Creamy Concealer in shade Vanilla to create my eyeshadow base. And I'm just going to go over this with my MAC 223, a tiny little brush that will allow me to get a really nice clean edge here. And I'm just going to blend it in because I don't want too harsh a cut crease line. I am going to use Savant now, and I'm just going to use it with the MAC 242 flat brush all over my lid. So this is a really, really gorgeous sort of muted green, and I'm just going to go over top of that on the inner half with gorgeous gold here to give it a little bit more dimension. Now I do find the lighter colors in this palette are quite nicely pigmented, but the darker colors not so much. Now just going back with my MAC 223, I'm going to pick up some of the shade Fresh Blade. Just going to apply this to the inner corner. It's such a beautiful colour to highlight with. Just going to go back in with my 224, blend all of that out. I am going to go back in with my 217 and I'm going to take the shade Sushi Green, which is a gorgeous black that's got almost like a green shimmer through it. I'm just going to apply that right in the corner of my eye. This is how we're going to get that lovely smoky eye we're looking for. I'm just going to take my 244 fluffy blender brush and chuck it into the Vicuna and give all of this a nice blend out. I'm going to take my MAC 214 and take some of that dark Sushi Green and pop it underneath and get a nice defined line coming up there. I'm also going to take it just into my lash line and blend that through. Give that really lovely smoky look to the outer corner of my eye. And then again, I'm just going to blend that out with my 244. Now just in my waterline, I'm going to go in with that. I'm just going to go in with that Pearlglide and Chlorophyll. And just chuck that underneath the middle third of my eye. And I'm just going to pop back underneath with my beauty blender and just a dash of my Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer to remove any fallout and to crispen that line up. Now here we go, we've got this lovely green smoky eye. I'm just gonna pat a little bit more of the Savant into the middle of my eye here. Get that green colour really popping through. Now I don't want to detract from the green, and because my eyes are slightly hooded, I don't want to do too thick a line. So I am going to go in with my Chanel eyeliner number 10. This is just fantastic. It has got the finest brush. It's only 3 or 4 hairs, but you can really get the slenderest line. I am starting to run out of this eyeliner. It's definitely one that I'll be rebuying. Now I'll just pop away and apply that to the other side. Now I've just got that gorgeous thin line there. So I'm just going to apply some very, very small flicks. Now that I've got my cat eye flicks applied, I'm going to go in with my Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I love this as a base mascara. It's nice and dry, so I can really get my lashes separated and positioned nicely. I'm going to apply this to my lower lashes. And then I'm just going to go in over top with the Maybelline Lash Sensational to give it a little bit more length and volume and get myself that fake lash look. Oh dear. Now I'll just let that dry so I can wipe it off. I'm just going to go in and lightly do my brows using the MAC Eyebrow Pencil in Lingering. I love this pencil because it just retracts out. So I'm just going to go in really lightly and do my brows. Now I do get my brows tattooed, so they just need to really lightly be filled in like this when I'm getting to the point where I really need to get them re-tattooed. This should be dry, so I'm just going to wipe it off with a cotton bud. There we go. And pop over it with my beauty blender. Now for my lipstick today, I'm going to be using the Karen Murrell colour in Blushing Rose. It's a lovely rose colour, really. And it smells amazing. It smells like cinnamon and shea butter. So here's my finished look.